Good afternoon, parents. Good afternoon, students. I'm dressed as an elf, so it must be the Christmas message to you at this time of the year. Now, I would normally have quite a lot to go through in terms of the plans, and I've sent a letter out already if you've seen it on Parent Mail, but I want to just touch base with you before we break up today, slightly earlier on the Thursday, with lots of change going on. But I think actually we're just on the precipice of a lot more news that are going to happen around changes in January. We've had a lot of recent announcements in the last few days around testing for students, testing for staff into the new year. And then just today, it's breaking on the news, yet to hear from the government, let alone the Department for Education, around the actual official announcements around January. So I apologise. I haven't got a very clear message to you at this very present time around how January is going to look, but I will update you very clearly and cleverly as we go through via our online communications, through Parent Mail, and also through our website as well, to keep you up to date so you can try and know as soon as possible. Because I do understand, and I think it's absolutely been heard from across the country, parents' frustration, not with how schools are trying really hard to handle the situation, but just with a lack of news and when things are coming at last minute. And I would absolutely say that we have that same frustration as well. And my job is to make sure, apart from when I'm dressed as an elf, is that message is passed on very clearly and very seriously back to the government and back to the Department for Education, that this has to resolve in a way that means parents and schools can operate with timely fashion, so you can deal with this situation to the best that you can do along with us. What will be happening on January when we return on Monday the 4th of January, as mentioned, is our training day, so we won't be open to students on that day. And as I've just mentioned, I will be letting you know what our approach is to that first week back in January once we've heard some more news over the next day or so from the Department for Education. I wanted to reiterate the importance of our social distancing, of all the procedures we're going into with the Christmas bubbles. And at the moment, we're still under that phase of track and trace requirement from schools. I've got the COVID-19 mobile phone with me and the email as well. And as instructed via my letter that went out this week, please, up into the 23rd of December, if there is a confirmed case in your household, please can you contact us, please, and contact me on that number that has been provided. And I will then go about and do the track and trace with the Public Health England, Department for Education, and notify the relevant parties of the information so they've got that to hand. I wanted to thank you at this point in time for your huge support for AUEA, your support for your child as they've returned into education following the summer break and the lockdown prior to that. We keep talking about the unprecedented time that we're in and the challenges we faced. And we've seen that in our data initially. And I'm just most recently, I know I've been contacted by parents around the mock exams for year 11, and concerns of parents is, have my child made the progress already? Have they caught back up from the gap? What I'd reassure each and every parent, and specifically those in year 11 and year 13, is that every single one of my teachers, all of our resources, all of our time, and the additional funding that we receive from the government and our own funding, we are absolutely channeling into making sure your child makes the progress that they need to do over this time. We can utilise our relationship with the university in really exciting and innovative ways. Already I've got a large number of students and placement students in here from the university working in the classroom with students. These are people that have got degrees. These are people that have got working towards their degrees and got outstanding A levels in maths, in science, in English. They're working alongside your children in the classroom to help them catch up and also help them to accelerate and get those top grades. Just after into the new year, we've got a new mentoring scheme being launched with the university, which will see even more students having intervention. I've utilised some of the money from the government to come in to pay for extra teachers to be able to provide intervention sessions after school and support students as they move towards their revision and their final exams. I know it's really, really hard. I know for some students there's been that uncertainty of whether the exams will go ahead. And clearly, you know, ultimately changes may happen, but I remain absolutely certain that these exams in England will go forward. And therefore, it's absolutely vital that your child, if they're in year 11 and in year 13, as well, of course, in year 10 as well, and year 12 working towards, but absolutely vital that they begin that acceleration and preparation towards the summer exams. There'll be a lot more from me after the new year around that, again with some additional evenings with parents online for you to be able to get additional help and support with supporting your child at home. We've got parents' evenings coming up into January with year 11 and then into year 13, A-level ones happening pretty much within the second and third week of January. And of course, that's going to pose some new challenges for us as we move into the digital and virtual world of parents' evening. That said, I'm actually very excited about how we can look at using technologies and how we can use the system and the advantage of COVID to say, you know what, this is a new way of doing it. As a parent, I don't have to rush to school for a 5-minute meeting in a hall, crammed in, sitting on uncomfortable chairs, just less than 2 meters away from somebody next to me, confidentiality, etc. Instead, I can have a one-to-one, really focused meeting online, face-to-face, using technology with my child's tutor to go through in detail each of their subjects and get clear targets and improvement strategies for my child to improve. So I look forward to working with you over the next month as we roll out these technologies into the new year. There's lots that we're learning, as I said, we're going along. There's lots that we haven't, I'm sure, got right along the way, and we'll continue to improve. And I thank you for that feedback. I thank you for the parent voice that was done recently. I thank you for the really positive comments we received, and also those areas that we can improve. And I'm working hard with my team and my staff to make sure we can clearly demonstrate to you, this is what you said, and this is what we did. And I'll feed that back into you again into the new year. We also rolled out in September our new Teams telephony system, and i.e. that every single member of staff has their own headset now, and every member of staff has their own telephone number. I hope that's increased the communication between school and home, working on your feedback that you had that during lockdown we were very much accessible, and at school time you get frustrated with that block of reception. So I hope that's increased, and we're continuing to train staff and improve our systems to be able to communicate with you effectively. Personally, myself, as you know, it's been a very challenging term. Started very positive in September, and obviously very shortly into the new academic year, I tragically had my son hit by a car, as you're aware, and that meant I had to be off school for a little while. I want to send a huge thanks to not only the staff here in the school and Mr. Chapman and Mr. Neil Scott, the Chair of Governors, supporting in my absence, but a huge thank you for parents for your overwhelming support. I was bowled away and amazed by the messages and the letters and the cards I kindly received from parents, and that support was really, really appreciated, and the energy that you gave me really helped myself, my family, my son Toby and my daughter Poppy through the challenging times. I'm delighted to say that we've come out the other side of that now, and just this week we've received the positive news that he has recovered nearly 90% from his accident, and the brain bleed and fractured skull that he had is healed and beginning to heal really, really nicely. So again, a huge thank you to all your support, your prayers and your thoughts during that time. I'm very proud, as you can tell, to lead AUEA. I said leave then, I'm not leaving, but very proud to lead AUEA as a school, as a UTC, and our work at the university. We're delighted that they've been named University of the Year, and we're proud to be associated with them. I'm excited about what the new year brings for the whole of the country. I'm excited of what the new year brings to us as a school. Clearly, our goal over the next 6 months is absolutely, desperately to bring Ofsted back in again so they can see the tremendous work that we do here, the tremendous work that your child does, and the tremendous opportunities that we provide for each one of our students here. We're looking forward to inviting them back as soon as the doors for Ofsted reopen and say, come in here, that we want to absolutely, in our self-evaluation shows that we are not only good, but we are outstanding in many, many areas. And we look forward to demonstrating that and getting the status as well back as soon as possible. So I thank you again for your support in 2020. I wish you a fantastic Christmas, whatever that means to you, and however you're going to be celebrating or spending time together or separately or however it might be over the next 2 weeks. But I wish you a fantastic rest and a happy new year, and I look forward to seeing you very shortly. So from me, the head, goodbye. From me, the elf, goodbye. Thank you very much. Take care and be safe.